Hi there, this is Angel Rivera, the itinerant librarian, coming to announce the tarot deck that I'm going to be using during the month of August 2025. And after a bit of thought, I'm going to go with the Gregory Scott Tarot, a tarot of positive clarity. That one right there. It is published by Los Scarabeo. To be honest, part of the reason I debated on this is because after using a relatively lighthearted tarot last month, I was debating if I wanted to go get a darker deck and start leaning towards the darker part of the year, but I figured why not one more less hurrah for the summer. So I decided to go with something nice and colorful and light, and that's the Gregory Scott. It comes in the standard box that you get from Los Scarabeo very often. It comes with a little white book in multiple languages, as Los Scarabeo often does. Which, by the way, I'll read it anyhow and let you know what's in it in my review. Stay tuned for that. And let's go ahead and take a look at a few of the cards. It does have a couple of liner cards. And let's take a peek at some of the cards. Let's start with the full. Magician. Ooh, I like this High Priestess. Check it out. Let's go down the line. A couple of my favorites. Here is Justice. Wow. Okay. I have to think about that one. Here's the Tower. Let's go ahead and pull out some of the minors. It is a fully illustrated deck, so yes, the minors are illustrated. Here's the Two of Cups, for example. Ten of Cups. As you can see, it's a very nice, colorful deck. Initially, when I was looking at this deck, which I found at a very reasonable price on half-price books, I was kind of, no big deal. But then I saw the art a little bit more closely. Here's the Page of Cups, by the way. And it looks somewhat familiar. Well, it turns out the deck's artist is Davide Corsi, who also does decks like the Tarot at the End of the Rainbow, which I have talked about here, and this one, and probably one of my all-time favorites, the Vampire's Tarot of the Eternal Night, which I've also talked about here at times. So yeah, I gotta get that, which I did. Here it is. This is the Seven of Pentacles, by the way. Very nice. Just got a couple more. We'll wrap up. Let's see, Three of Wands. King of Wands. This is the back of the cards. There you go. Once again, this is the Gregory Scott Tarot. It is a tarot deck that I'm going to be using during the month of August 2025. You'll see it featured on my social media, and I may do a spread here or there with it. I'll have a full review of the deck with photos on my blog sometime after I rotate decks at the end of the month. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. In the words of Walter Mercado, mucha paz, mucho amor. If you like what you see, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for your support. Bye-bye.